Today I want to talk about XDefiant and how it's definitely a controller game. Much like a lot of major FPS games on the market aside from CSGO, Valorant, and only a handful of popular mainstream games that could be argued as being mouse and keyboard games. XDefiant literally runs smoother on controller probably because analog controller input is easier for the game engine to read compared to the raw input of a mouse that has way more variables at play, such as DPI and polling rate, as well as Windows mouse settings and more. The hit registration feels better, albeit not nearly where it needs to be. There's still a ton of desync as well, resulting in getting shot around corners as well as shoot first, die first. The netcode is by far the biggest thing that will turn away players because it just results in a feeling of being cheated out of gunfights or being gaslit essentially. The major difference I noticed when switching over to controller was faster matchmaking times as well as more variation in skill amongst lobbies. There's definitely way more casuals on controller versus keyboard and mouse, as with probably a majority of games in general. As much as keyboard and mouse gamers love to proclaim to be the real gamers, we are the minority in the gaming community, regardless of how much we dumped into our rig just to be beat by a 12-year-old wielding aim assist. Majority of the player base is definitely on controller and likely on console as well, but even at that, majority of players on PC are also using controllers. There are multiple reasons for this. Mainly I would assume is comfort and controller being what people are used to playing Call of Duty or games in general on. Majority of gamers, especially in the Western world, are on consoles. Not everybody has $2,000+ to drop on a gaming PC. Some sweaty players switch from keyboard and mouse to controller to take full advantage of aim assist, especially on games like Warzone, Fortnite, Apex, and even XDefiant, especially on something like the ranked mode. Aim assist is definitely not as strong as it is in recent Call of Duty games, but anybody who thinks that it doesn't help out is kidding themselves. It's literally slowing down when your aim is on the player hitbox and it's sticking to it to assist in tracking, which is why players on keyboard and mouse using methods to spoof being controller players and benefiting from aim assist along with the snappiness of mouse aiming are essentially aimbotting with a low field of view and lower strength settings. All of this said, aim assist is definitely necessary on an FPS game using a controller. I think it's at a way more appropriate level on here compared to Call of Duty. It feels like there's much more of a learning curve to the aim assist on XDefiant compared to Warzone or Call of Duty in general, which some people have even claimed has different levels of aim assist based on skill level, being a new player, etc. Which if so wouldn't surprise me, and is also going way too far with the whole carnival and casino games thing that they got going on. There's definitely a level of satisfaction to getting the hang of using ARs or even using movement and SMGs to really outplay opponents while benefiting from aim assist. I still personally stand by my opinion that because of aim assist, close range, SMGs, shotguns, even ARs if mastered are better on controller, and sniping is better on keyboard and mouse due to the ability to get on target faster. Don't get me wrong, there's really good snipers on controller too. If anything though, quick scoping is way more overpowered on Call of Duty compared to XDefiant. I see a lot more hard scoping on here, and that's not a bad thing, that's how they're meant to be used, and there's definitely a skill to being able to quick scope. The aim assist is also lower when scoped in, which also encourages many people to hard scope angles, or really good players to just focus on crosshair placement and then quick scope, that way you don't have to worry about aim assist. I wanted to talk about this misconception that I'm seeing a lot lately, that giving constructive criticism is hating on the game or preying on its downfall. It's actually quite the opposite. I'm hoping to bring awareness to things in the game that I think could be improved, and I'm not blinded by the fact the game is good. I just see a ton of potential that's currently untapped, and I'm fully aware the game is a work in progress and will continue to get more content. I just want to do my part to really keep a pulse on things, such as how the player base feels, how people who quit the game feel, learn more of the ins and outs of the game and potentially the causes for bugs or issues that the devs may literally be investigating or may even be unaware of. If people in the community find those type of things and point them out, they can get resolved quicker. I recently see this whole us versus them mentality. If you have criticism for XDefiant, just go play COD then. It's like, why not play both? It's just a game, a toy for your entertainment at the end of the day. It's not a religion or a cult. You can't just leave when you feel like it. The game will benefit from other games doing well and vice versa. When there's more competition in the market, the consumer wins. This is just as petty and immature as the whole console wars. Xbox versus PlayStation. Who cares what piece of plastic you play on, honestly? Come on now. So we recently saw footage of leaks of Black Ops 6 being played on a jailbroken PS4. I'm definitely going to have to play the beta or something before I really have any strong opinions about the game. I don't think it's good to have too strong opinions about some things, as it blinds you to the positives and the downsides of things that can be better seen from a different vantage point. I definitely don't think it's a good idea to pre-order any video game, even something like GTA 6. It's literally a digital download. They're not going to run out of it on release day. I could see an argument for getting it to have it pre-downloaded the day before or something, but Steam, Battle.net, all these servers have insanely slow, throttled download speeds regardless of how great your fiber internet is. Funny thing is, even when you buy physical copies nowadays, the disc is basically a license key, and you still have to make a big download in order to play games, if not also be connected to the internet just to play single player. Definitely getting off on a bit of a tangent there, but don't pre-order games. It just sends the wrong message to the companies. It says, I'm stupid, take my money. Basically, for lack of better words, that's essentially what it's doing. But all in all, honestly, XDefiant feels so much better on controller than it does on keyboard and mouse. I think it will feel better on keyboard and mouse as some of the networking issues, the netcode, get improved. But the thing is, the game just feels like it was designed for controller first, and keyboard and mouse was just a feature. As much as I hate to say it, and as much as I still probably will hop on and play maybe Sniper or something, maybe ARs sometimes, it's a controller game first. You can play keyboard and mouse on it, but just like Call of Duty, it's a controller game first. Yes, even the old Call of Duties, they were on keyboard and mouse and on PC before they actually came to controller. But that said, when they rose to popularity, when the masses, when the majority of people that made the franchise super famous and known for what it is were playing, it was on controller. When the player base was at its peak, majority of those players were on controller. Another thing with XDefiant that I see from a lot of people who are just quick to get super defensive or mad, maybe it's because of a title or a thumbnail. With YouTube, honestly, you have to be kind of sensationalist, clickbaity, rage bait, whatever. Otherwise, people are not going to click and stop to see what the hell does this idiot have to say. And I understand also a lot of people go straight to the comments without even listening to what I have to say, or whatever the case. But a lot of people that are really defensive of XDefiant, it seems like they hate Call of Duty more than they love XDefiant. It's like a angry, jealous ex or something. Maybe that's why it's called XDefiant, because it's a bunch of Call of Duty refugees. I think probably now on, the majority of the time that I play, I'm going to choose my input device based on the time of day that it is, based on how quick I can get into matches, as well as which weapon I want to use. If I want to just go level up my sniper or something, I'll jump into some TDM, use nothing but the sniper, and I'll know I have to use headphones on TDM because the spawns are just really wonky and unpredictable. But the thing that kind of sucks is every time I'm using headphones, half the time somebody pops up on me with no footsteps at all, and it happens all the time. It doesn't happen every single match, but it happens enough times each session to the point where it's okay, this is ridiculous. No matter what you do EQ wise or anything like that with your sound, you can't change what isn't there. If you're not getting audio cues, you can't do anything about it, period. So one more quick wrap up. Netcode is the biggest thing needing fixing. Audio needs some work. Keyboard and mouse input definitely needs some work. it's definitely going to be way better once there's more maps and more content in general, more progression systems.